so are you homeless?
Yes, I'm homeless.
Okay. And so how old are you?
I'm 20.
20. Oh man. All right. And so how long have you been homeless?
I've been homeless for 2 years.
About 2 years? Okay. And so are we talking about 2 years like straight through or 2 years on and off?
2 years on and off.
On and off? And so when was the last time you had like a roof over your head?
The last time was over a roof was like a year ago.
A year ago?
Man, this is a baby. And she's small too. Huh.
She said she been out there since she was 18 on and off. So she 20 now. But she been out there for two. She been out there since, there you go, 18. What's the probability that, you know, her mama, daddy, whoever, both say you 18, now you out the house? We don't agree to that over here. We don't agree. There you go. As much as we are about accountability, we don't subscribe to that goofy, destructive thing that, you know, once you're 18, you out my house. The road is rough. We acknowledge that. And life is real. We just ask that you try. You got to be moving forward and trying, but things don't always work out. Say you 18 now, you got to get out. That is a recipe for destruction. That's some selfish, evil stuff. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, so don't know, but yeah, she been out there since she was 18. That's just my assumption on this situation, that she was put out because she turned 18.
Been on the streets kind of ever since then?
on the streets and in the shelters.
Okay. All right, so what was it that happened a couple years ago that caused you to become homeless in the first place?
Basically, my family was depending on me to pay like everything. So like that's what happened. We got evicted, and so everybody had to figure out where to go.
Why were they depending on you? You was only 18 at that point.
Because COVID hit, nobody was really working, and they knew that I was making money.
How much were you making?
Oh man, we talked about this just before. We talked about the devastation that these COVID stories are going to go on for so long. Y'all don't even understand the excuses, and not only the excuses, just the magnitude and the destruction that it done, and not physically with catching it or anything. You know, it's the aftermath. There we go, the aftermath of it all. You know,
this is, I feel like this is getting dark because she's sitting there talking about, for one, it's already dark. Excuse me. She 18. She talking about her family depending on her to make the money because they knew she making money. I'm absolutely terrified to find out how she out here making money, and what circumstances got so bad that you look to your 18-year-old daughter talking about, hey, we know you making money. We need you to start, you know, sharing some of the funds. This. Come on, folks. Understand why we sounding this alarm. Understand why we won't shut up on this. This is bad
deal. Yeah, she said she had to pay all the bills. So 2020, I bet you everybody in the house was getting unemployment checks. I bet you that. Y'all know what y'all was doing. They was going on vacation. They start blowing that money, and then it hit the fan, and they say, well, she's still working. Why can't she pay the bills? That's crazy. Then it all defended. She said we all had to find somewhere to go. So
they had to disperse. Somebody came, Pat, and don't get this misunderstood. It ain't like this was just a easy going, peaceful happening. It was scratching and screaming. People got locked out, locks changed, doors taken off, front doors taken off the hinges. Again, in me and Gavin's field, we have seen this. We repair houses. We have seen, you know, people come and take the front door off the house to force the people to leave. You can stay here if you want. You ain't got no front door, you know. So it gets bad. I say that to say these situations, as these people are called, you know, these evictions, they are bad. Scratching, screaming, police there, bad deals, man. Bad.
I was getting benefits.
Okay, so you was getting checks.
Yes, I was getting checks.
And is that from disability?
Yes.
Okay, what age were you when those checks started?
Those started when I was very young.
Very young?
Yes.
And why do you receive those? What mental health diagnosis is it?
I have a learning disability. So basically, on top of that, yeah, a learning disability basically.
Okay, and that's been basically your whole life that you've had that diagnosis?
Yes, and
Okay.
I have bipolar issues.
Bipolar? Okay. Do you have any
Here
kids?
we go. The bipolarness, and here we go. We said she was working and taking advantage. Not, it's even worse. She wasn't working. They was exploiting her for her social security checks or whatever she was getting.
There you go.
This is madness.
Here's my thing. It seems like every individual that come up here says something about bipolar. Me, myself, I've been called bipolar. Is there a chance that we got some misdiagnosis going on here? That people just need therapy and be going through mood swings because life is a mamma jamma? I'm not saying these people don't have issues, but we all can't be bipolar. Come on,
Or can we? Or can we?
let me watch.
Ah.
Let me wash my mouth. Or can we? Can we?
Yeah, you're looking at the world we live in. I would say our observable reality would say differently.
Okay. At this, yeah. So
It's unfortunate.
yeah, yes, it is. Nevertheless, this poor thing, 18 years old, she got mental issues, learning disabilities, and she out here in the cold, heartless streets. This is terrible. Because it only take one monster. We advocate for men over here. At the very same time, there are monsters out there in the world. We ain't blind to that. That's why this is so alarming. This young, misguided girl with learning disabilities was collecting checks and all, was living in a very bad situation, obviously, from what she recalls. It only takes one monster to walk past and see this defenseless, homeless woman. And what we talking about? I would say the sky's the limit, but the pit's the limit. This can go as deep and dark as it want to go.
I have bipolar issues.
Bipolar? Okay. Do you have any kids?
No, I'm currently pregnant right now.
Currently pregnant. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I am.
How many, how far along are you?
I'm 19 weeks.
19. Wow. You don't look it.
I
Okay.
am.
All right.
She's already went on the record and said that she has learning disabilities. And now some, like we just said, you have, man, she out there in the streets. You know what's going on out there. Y'all know who walking around. Y'all know. And he is unforgiving. He don't
He don't care. He ain't got no sympathy, no pity, no surrender, no retreat. He don't care what you got going on. Learning disability, physical ailments. He own you. He own you, and he loose with his seed. He don't care. He don't care because he ain't sticking around. Why should he? And that's what I'm saying. That's why this is dire. She done ran across the monster already. She pregnant and she homeless. And she got learning disabilities. It's a monster that did that. I don't give a damn who. Ain't no way ain't no way that individual can justify this. That's a monster. I said it straight to his face. He can't say, "Oh, I didn't know." No, you a monster. You know she homeless. Look at this poor thing. She looked dazed and confused in the ass. Absolute monster. I told you. He out there. And he done already got hold of her.
You ever been married?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No? Okay. All right, so let's just start from the beginning. So where are you from?
I'm from Decatur.
Growing up on the east side, did you have both your mom and your dad in the household?
No, I didn't. Basically, my dad died when I was in high school. And my mother, she's basically been on drugs all her life.
So here we are. We keep saying this. It ain't too many times you're gonna see people on her saying my mother's a lawyer, my father's a doctor. Right? There's no Huxtables. This ain't that. So it's always grim. She said her dad died when she was in high school, so that wasn't too long ago. She only 20. So he just died a couple years ago. Her mom out running the streets. And now, coincidentally, now she's running the streets. The apple does not fall far in most cases, unless there's trees on the hillside. Then that apple will roll down the hill, and it might have a life of its own somewhere, be up under another tree.
Real stuff, man. Holy smokes. So the father passed away when she was in high school. That was, about a couple years ago. That was around That was around, whenever Cootie's 19 was real heavy. Don't know the situation behind that. If he had underlying health issues, most likely did. They was depending on her for funds. The mom out here on drugs. Know what I think it is. Shoot, it ain't. It ain't the devil's lettuce.
I smell a little crack in you.
And let's call it is. The dad was more than likely indulging as well. So
yeah, I will say usually if that's the case, they flat out say, "Oh, my dad was a crackhead. He died from it." But we gonna see this poor thing, and it's so bad. This poor thing. She is pretty girl, man. She should have never. This is bad. Our babies need to be born into better circumstances. They do. This is bad.
Drugs.
Basically, cocaine, all that other crap.
Okay, it's like crack and stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Is she still on that?
Yes, she is.
So is she like out here in these streets, basically?
Yes.
Do you know what side of town she frequents?
Probably like.
real quick, and you just something you be hitting on. A lot of times, what's the stigma about people not be wanting to call crackheads anymore? Like, it is what it is. Like, quit saying cocaine. Like, we talked about this. Y'all got to stop. That's all I wanted to say.
It's not cocaine. It's crack. It's cocaine. It ain't cocaine. It's crack rocks. Come on, man. You know what it is. Stop that.
It's a process. It's a chemical process behind getting it to that next level. All right. So we'll leave it at that. That's all I'm saying.
Like deep in Atlanta.
Okay.
Probably. I'm not sure.
Okay.
If she's in 5 Points, I don't know. She's probably near there.
I got it. All right. Okay, and so basically you say you grew up with your grandparents?
Yes, I grew up with my grandparents.
Okay. And so, I mean, growing up, would you say that you had like a fairly normal childhood?
Not really.
Tell me about it.
I was living in an abusive household. So basically, my uncle sexually harassed me. My grandmother, she was an alcoholic.
You say the who harassed you?
My uncle harassed me. And
is that your mom's brother?
yes. And my grandmother, she was an alcoholic. So I had a hard time growing up.
And so, as far as your uncle, what age were you when he did that to you?
It started when I was in the 5th grade.
So about 10 years old?
Yes.
And what did he do exactly?
Basically, he'll try to follow me around, try to touch me here and there, and then say to everybody that I was crazy and tell his daughter not to talk to me and stay away from me and everything.
We are. And this is why the nuclear family and the mother and the father is so important. This is why we got to raise the babies. You can't be, see what I'm saying? She said my mom was an alcoholic. My uncle was, you know what I mean? It was all wild. And my uncle was doing all this stuff. Granted, we can't confirm or deny, but I'm going to take her word for it, right? And let's just know we ain't no place for that in the community. We all know what we want to do with that, brother. If y'all been around this channel long enough, y'all know exactly what we would do to him. Ain't no need to go into detail. But this is just unfortunate. Once again, it's a pretty girl, and he knew she was a little bit, off, and he was taking advantage. And then they would say, what's going on? He would say, y'all know she's something wrong with her. And he was trying to, come on, man. Y'all know what he was doing. He was telling his kids, oh, don't fool with her. She crazy. Or whatever the case may be. And he was painting a bad light on her. And he was having his way the whole time. And like she said, the grandma was in there drunk or whatever. And wasn't nobody paying attention. And they already wrote her off, right? So
she's sitting there. She had to leave. She left her crackhead mom to go stay with her alcoholic grandma and scum of the earth uncle. And like Gavin said, it's only one way to discipline individuals like that. Like, this girl just had no shot. She had no chance. She had not a chance in the world.
Now she walk around pregnant by God knows who. And this is very unfortunate.
He told them that you was crazy and not to talk to you.
Because I told on him, and I told Defects what he did to me.
What'd you tell Defects?
I told Defects that he was sexually harassing me. He was messing with me, basically telling people wrong information, thinking that, having people think that I'm crazy, basically.
Did he ever have sex with you?
No, he tried, like, he sexually touched me every night.
Where
So
would he
when I
touch
woke
you
up,
at?
like down here,
Down in your private areas?
yes, in my lips. And sometimes when I wake up, he'll have the flashlight on and the camera.
He used to film?
Yes.
Like I said, you've been around here long enough. You know exactly what we do. We Old Testament around here. So I'm trying to tell y'all. We met. Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all. There's, well, like what he said, there's only one place for this, brother. This is, and now we get it because sometimes we come up here and people say you victim blame or whatever. We get there is real evil in the world. We understand. Trust me, and it get handled accordingly around here. But this is wow. This is why the fathers are so important.
That's true. Gotta have fathers around to be able to smell these things out. A real man gonna be able to smell that weasel, that wolf in sheep's clothing every time.
And
Every
don't
time.
push that protective father away, thinking it's something. It is what it is. It's gonna
Yeah.
deter. Like you said. You said it, we are deterrents.
Yes,
A
that's
real man around is going to deter this type of behavior from going on. You
every
know,
time. Y'all always there you go. For all y'all that have never come in contact with a real man gonna deter all threats. Really ain't got too many other jobs or duties. Deter the threat. Should no threats be coming around here at all. In the slightest, zero threats. And you see what I'm saying? That was her mom's brother. Her mom loved her brother. I don't to hell with your brother. I don't care. I'm gonna take him for what he is. I ain't got no emotional bond to him. I'm gonna look at him, observe him, like, oh, your brother been doing this, he been doing that. Yeah, well, keep our seed away from him.
that's
Straight like
all. Just tell, come on now, tell them, look at the pretty flowers. Look
yeah,
at the pretty flowers,
at
and
this
we,
point, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we Old
Did he
Testament
ever
be a
go to jail for
whole
that?
lot of
No, they told him to stay away, but my grandmother, she let him back because it was hard for her to believe what was really going on.
How did that make you feel that basically no one believed you?
It made me feel kind of like torn. It made me messed up mentally because basically my other uncles would call me crazy, tell their kids to stay away from me. And then my grandmother would say, oh, you need to go to a mental hospital or something like that. But she never believed me. I mean, we still cool to this day, but she just never believed none of this stuff.
that's another thing. Never believe me. This is the most innocent girl. Innocent. This is an innocent girl. Never believe me, and that's why I always say, family don't mean nothing. Just simply mean it mean whatever the words say it mean. We don't choose each other. Them are not the most loyal people to you. Them are the people most quickly to stab you in the back and do something ill to you. So we got to quit throwing this family word around, quacking like, we got to be cool. Like she said, my grandma didn't want to believe me. She was high, but we still cool. No, we ain't still cool. I don't rock with you no more. I can't rock with you no more. And we got to be comfortable with saying that to family. I can't rock with you. We don't align. Just simply by being family don't align us. It got to be rooted in something deeper.
yes, straight like that. I could not have said it better myself. I could not have said it better myself. Yeah, family. Judge people how they treat you. Family is sad today, and we all about family over here. As far as nuclear family and all that good stuff, all that good wholesome stuff. But man, today's world, family take advantage of what's supposed to be an unbreakable bond, and like I said, they'd be the first ones to do harm to you. First ones. Yeah, we didn't hurt liars, we didn't seen liars and observe them. This child here, I'm not. There's no lies detected, as y'all like to say. No lies detected. And then for all these other men to just, oh, she crazy, keep her away. These ain't men. We tend to use that word men loosely around here, and it's hard because all these uncles that done condemn this girl like that. Nobody looking into it. A lot of cowardice and suckers. That's all I hear. Cowards and suckers. Straight up.
And and like she said, me and my grandma still cool, even but y'all all claim to be Christians. And the more I learn about the Bible, because I'm learning now as I'm older, I don't know much. So I'm like a virgin in it, and I can take it for what it is. And even Jesus in this moment wouldn't respect his grandma. Mary came knocking on that door. Jesus said, "That ain't my mama. I don't know who that woman." Jesus said, "Y'all my family.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all been rocking with me. We've been riding and dying."
Mm-hmm.
That woman, she said I was wild and crazy.
Yep.
Right? Just
Yep.
like that woman's grandma said. So y'all
Yep.
gotta understand, it's not wrong to, separate from family and call them what it is, because how they treating you and how they treating others and everything.
There
So
you go.
you gotta understand these things.
Can't be a slave to family. Can't be a slave to the word family. Just because y'all share the same blood, don't mean much. I forget what the saying is. There's a saying that also often gets misconstrued in our culture, and it's what they say, blood is thicker than water, but there's something else to it that was left out, meaning that just because it's blood don't mean that you got to stick together, like you said, and always be cool, even though she alcoholic and won't listen to you whenever you said that this man had touched all on you. It's
Because
just
then people would say, you got other people in the family who don't want to draw. Well, what did they do to you? Y'all got to understand, if your morals lie with simply what somebody has personally done to you, you a messed up person. If
there
you
you
can't
go.
recognize how people moving in the world, and you don't have to align people just because they family if they moving messed up. So I'm trying. That's the point of it. So she say, even though somebody moving messed up, we still can align because we family.
No, denounce them. No, you ain't no. I don't, like you said, I don't rock with you because of how you acting. Why? Because it's not what's best for the group in the slightest. You either moving selfish or you just being destructive.
So she's not here right now. Okay? Sometimes it's easier to talk to people when they're not able to respond. If you could give her any message, any heartfelt message, she would have happened to come across this video. Tell her what's on your heart.
I love her very much. I just can't believe you'll believe somebody else, believe your own son, instead of, what has done to you. She has been beaten by her husband before, and I don't understand why she doesn't believe me. But I still forgive her. I still understand why, because that's her son. But at the same time, I just wish she could have believed me. But I love her, though. I really do. And
If you could give a message to your
great.
uncle, what message would you give to him?
I'd be like, I don't forgive people. They tell me to forgive, but I just let it go. I'll just be like, well, you go do what you gotta do. If you're not gonna apologize after what you did, then there's nothing to talk about. We can just go our separate ways. You're good.
I mean, what can she say? This is a baby. Was she gonna be sitting there with some type of malicious intent on her mind? That's why there should be coalitions of men who we into these communities and we handle these things. I've been stressing that because this is wild, and especially if this man's still walking around, like I said, never been in jail. They sweeping this under the rug, and y'all know how much of this stuff is swept under the rug in the community. The rug is 10 feet tall now because there's so much stuff up under it. You understand? So y'all gotta stop. Y'all, come on, man.
I'm not sensing no malice in this young girl. She ain't coming out fast or all streetwise. This ain't no city
This is an
girl.
unprotected baby. She was
Yes,
just
that's
unprotected from birth.
all I'm getting. Unprotected baby. Ain't nobody gave a damn. And she just so happens to have some learning disabilities, which makes it that much worse. She need to be even more protected. But she ain't. And she out here pregnant by a monster. That's for daggone sure, because she wasn't even comfortable talking about, what I'm saying, what her uncle did. She wasn't like, oh, I did this. No, she's still bashful. She's still bashful and uncomfortable. Whoever done pregnant her, like Gavin said, it's only one way to deal with this individual, all these individuals. Every male she done dated.
No, including the grandma.
Yeah, all y'all, yes.
Because this
All
ain't no
of
old woman, like she said when it was happening. This girl's 20. We know how young these parents be. Her mama probably 36, 37. Grandma probably about 52, 54.
There we
These ain't
go.
old people.
There we go. All that they all need. They all need to atone. I'm gonna leave it at that. All of them.
Have you ever cried about this stuff?
Yes, deeply, like by myself. I even go to therapy about it.
Okay, so you do go to therapy? Okay. Okay. Whew. All right. So you were saying that basically everybody was relying on your money to come in. Who is everybody?
My well, basically my household family. It was 7 uncles living with me and my grandmother. So
Really say it. Caps off to you, Atlanta Street Interviews. Salute, brother. Salute. We respect you over here because, like Willie said, he gets down to it. And I know it's rough, man. And he said, because he had to double back, come all the way back around for that. And he said, so, but who all was living in Alpha? She said I had 7 uncles. Every one of you 7 dwarves. You understand? Come on, man.
They all need to look. They all need to look at the flowers. They just need to look at the pretty flowers. Every last one of them. All 7 of them.
There you go.
All 7. All 7. That's all 7. No excuses. Ain't no way you could talk your way out of this one. Yeah, 7 men. I'm like you said. I'm so happy he doubled back and got the details and showed just how dark this pit is. This was 7. She said 7 uncles. This group of males, holy smokes, I can't call it.
Grandma must have had about 8, 9, 10 kids, and you know how they be. And she like grandma, and then like grandma send them all her sons. It's the gynocracy. These boys are taking care of me. You ain't gonna have me put one of my sons in jail, but you lying on my boy. You see what I'm saying? We done know these weird complexes, and you ain't gonna believe this poor girl. You see what I'm saying? Because she ain't an asset.
There you go. There you go.
But she is because y'all taking her money. But I guess at that time she wasn't. But I guess she always been on this stuff, so they always be getting a check for her in some capacity.
There you go. She's sitting there, her grandma sitting there with 7 son husbands. The gynocracy was roaring and raging at an all-time peak, and it all came crashing down under Cooties 19. But it all crashing down. Funds dried up, hustles dried up.
And like you said, the mom owned drugs, so that's their sister. So your drugged out sister's daughter, like you said, probably who knows how deep this rabbit hole went.
You see what I'm saying? It was 7 men, 7 males in this house. 7. And it was depending on her. That's her recollection. Like I said, even if her recollection is slightly off, this ain't no city girl. This girl ain't fast. This ain't that. This is terrible. This girl was unprotected, used and abused, and it seemed like nobody paid for it. But God got a way of making things right one way or another. I believe that.
Not only this girl, but it's just an unfortunate thing. I don't know how much is going on, but I know it is going on. And this is not a one-off. We know, because I know the comments. We ain't trying to just make it seem like this is the only girl that's just happening. We know. We're trying to give us some solutions. Tell us who these people are. Start shining light like we shine the light. We got to talk about this stuff.
I had to pay for some of their stuff, and my bank went in debt because of helping them also with their car note and everything else.
And so, I mean, I guess, so why has it been a couple years? Like, a lot of times people can, go through the homeless programs and get housing quicker than a year.
Basically, that time around, COVID started hitting bad, like I said. We started getting evicted because I wasn't getting the benefits anymore at all.
Your benefits got cut?
Yeah, it got cut.
Why did they get cut?
Because I turned the age of 18. That's when they get cut off. So I had to...
So you don't have any income right now?
I don't have any income right now. I just been relying on other people and support from my mentor. She's been supporting me, basically the only person that's supporting me.
This is so rough. This is rough because that's a baby. And like you, that's just a baby, man. Holy fuck, sakes.
because the innocence is there. Yeah, that's why. Like I said, this ain't no hardened person that ain't holding themselves accountable. If
Yeah,
if there ever was innocence, I mean, you got to have some sympathy and empathy for some innocence.
yeah. She ain't cursed one time. She ain't. You know what I mean? Respectful, polite. You know,
She,
feminine. She could have grow up even with all of her shortcomings. She could have grew up and been somebody's wife. But
oh yes,
with all
yeah,
this trauma, but we talked about this last time. Here we go. And we were talking about a perfect scenario, like a Tyler Perry movie, where a man can come clean up one of these girls. But a lot of these women on here be into drugs and STDs and stuff, and we don't recommend that. But I guess in her case, maybe it's just a moment of redemption. I doubt it, but it wouldn't be something I would be like, no, brother, don't do it. But I guess now she had a kid, cause it's just bad. I probably would say don't do it, but
yeah, yes. That I keep forgetting getting she pregnant. Yeah, she talking about she don't have no support. Definitely don't be out here getting pregnant. And if I ever say this ain't her fault, this would be the time that it ain't.
absolutely. So
Goodness
a man
gracious.
coming in, this ain't like dealing with some child. The child ain't even born yet. It'd be your child. Man up.
Mhm.
This would be a situation where man up. If if she, oh
If
man,
you can find value in her, can build her up, and y'all can make something work. Yeah, this is just bad because y'all don't understand. Software is huge. She may have a learning disability, but as Gavin touched on, she ain't damaged. She ain't raging. Y'all don't understand. Y'all just don't understand how significant that
it's
is.
some nurturing. Like Willie said, come over here and get love doing. You know what I mean? She need to get
Mhm.
love doing. It's just
And,
that simple.
and like I say, and here we go. We touched on this on one of the other interviews. These sisters in Atlanta be tentative to take her in and love on her, get her cleaned up because she's a attractive young lady, and that's sad. The fact that she's simply an attractive young lady, you can't bring her around your man because you got insecurities and something could get wonky. And that's terrible to be in that position.
She
Simply
spoke.
because
She
you
speak about a mentor or something, and I'm sure they only helping, but so much because I can't bring her home around my husband.
can't bring you home. And now she done messed around and got knocked up, man. That's
So what is your plans on just moving on with life? Eventually getting to a place where you're stable, you have your own stuff, and you're kind of moving as an adult. What's your plans for that?
My plans is to basically, my goals is to do cosmetology. I really want to do that. But my plans as of right now, is to get stability and get my mental health and everything else right.
Okay, well, you say you're in therapy.
Yes.
And are you in process as far as the housing goes?
Yes, I am. I'm
Okay.
still waiting for that
So,
to come.
so is it possible for this woman? She said she in therapy. She does the work. I understand she's pregnant. There's a lot of traumas, but is there a chance? Let's look into our crystal ball here. All right, let's look into the cart before the horse crystal ball and see 10 years from now. Can you see this woman being like cleaned up, sophisticated, got it going on, working house, take care of kids, got her own car? Is there light on the other side of this tunnel? Because he asked her, "What are you doing to get out of this?" But Oscar is there light on the other side of this?
it's possible. It's creeping towards the realm of probable. It is. It is possible. Like you say, that she got a kid in the mix, but man, it would be nice to see this young lady get a fair shot, because it
Cause
ain't
she ain't gonna have no help with that kid, and she probably
no.
ain't fit to take care of no kid. She don't know she's a kid herself, and she ain't gonna have no help, and she ain't gonna be
Yeah.
one. You should not take that baby around grandma and uncle and them.
No. Oh,
So
yeah, she needs some yeah, God need to move in her way in big ways, bring somebody into her life that got pure intentions, that can make this work. But is she ain't to be thrown away. She ain't to be discarded. And that's just based on the other women that's out here. Like I said, her software, I know she got learning disabilities, and I think that's pretty evident. I can't. It's hard, like even trying to think of her with her man, because man, I can't stop seeing her as a child. I can't even hold you. It's tough. I cannot stop seeing her as a child. And like, the way she talking, I don't see 20. I see like 15.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I swear I'm having a hard time even thinking about
Well,
her.
it's arrested development. All that trauma and abuse, she never got to grow. She's stuck in that child, whatever age.
That's why I said any man that come into this got to be a solid, God-fearing man.
Understanding, brother.
Yeah, most understanding. God-fearing ain't about to come here and do nothing wild and take advantage. And ain't
can't nobody come here right now. She gonna have to get years of help, and maybe at like 24, 25, she can come back and with a fresh.
There you go.
Not right now. Dating ain't even in the question.
No, not at all. Yeah, for the next 5 years, put the pedal to the metal, get your mind right, get established. See what and her kid be 5 years old. The world is her oyster, if you ask me. 5 years old, she 25. She get herself together, get some mental help. Shoot, watch out. And that's, obviously we're being optimistic because life is grim and life is real. She homeless in Atlanta, but it would be nice. We can be a little hopeful here at times, especially when it comes to an individual like this, man. I wish her the best.
All right, well, you're here at the shelter, so you have somewhat of a roof over your head. How long you been at this shelter?
I just got here yesterday.
Where were you prior?
I went to Covenant first, but then I just came down here to this shelter.
Why'd you leave Covenant?
Because it was close to my transitioning time and my housing didn't come through yet.
Okay, so you only have a certain amount of time you could be in these places.
Yes.
And then once it gets to be that time, they pretty much kick you out.
Yes.
And you have to find somewhere else. What is the time frame?
The time frame is usually 90 days. This program is only 30 days. But I don't know, it's 30 days for here. That's what I heard.
Okay. So let me ask, you're currently pregnant, right?
Yes.
Where's the baby daddy?
He's working right now. So
Is he homeless as well?
Yes, he's currently in the same situation. We're working together to come out of this situation.
Okay. So immediately I'm gonna tell you, some of my viewers, they're gonna say, well, why did you get pregnant? You're homeless.
Basically, I don't know. It just happened. I guess life happens. It happened like a couple months ago.
How long had y'all been dating before you got pregnant?
I don't know how many. It's almost a year now. It's almost a year.
A year now, meaning you're about 5 months pregnant, so you guys dated for about 6 or 7 months?
Yes.
Okay. And you met out on the street, basically? You met homeless?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys are in a relationship right now? Okay. I know some of my guy viewers are going to be looking at this, and they're going to be saying, man, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous. Pretty young girl. And
so here we are. We're going to start coming up with rules, laws, and commandments over here. We're going to have a list. We'll put it on the screen sometimes. And one of them going to be, you cannot be out here procreating and homeless. I don't care if it's one of y'all homeless. And if both of y'all homeless, that's almost like a mortal sin or some shit. So we going to got to get some order around here.
Man, that'd be about commandment 1. Thou shalt not procreate without a roof over thou's head. For sure. Because what we talking about. And like I said before, we all about accountability over here, but I got to believe every word this poor child is saying. He said, how'd you get pregnant? It just happened. I bet it did. I bet Nug did swoop in swift in a mamma jam on your po thing. I bet it did just seem like it just happened. That's sick. That is sick. Like I said, it take a man with pure intentions. And a real man that's homeless ain't about to. You shouldn't. How you getting aroused, man? Seriously, how? How do you feel like you deserve?
Well, that's probably all he got. You know what I mean? You thinking about that from our perspective. You probably, man, I get it though. I guess if you don't want to come up out of that, you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Where your mind at?
I'd still want to see this individual. I want to see. It's already dark. Might as well go ahead and see. I would like to see that individual. Because seriously, come on, man. I can't justify it. I don't care. Talking about they working, they getting at it together. No. If we gonna make a change, we got, like Gavin said, we gotta start having laws and rules, things you just don't do. And having babies, getting pregnant while you're homeless, that's close to number one. Number one, if not number one, seriously, because it should be common sense when you're talking about bringing life into this beautiful struggle. Don't do it when you're homeless. My goodness.